All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday and some great events right here in the store at Wine Watch this year. And this one with Jesse Katz just popped up. He is the winemaker for Roth and Lancaster Estate, well, at least for the last 4 or 5 years. He was at Screaming Eagle Winery before that. He has worked with some of the brightest minds in the wine industry in California, well, also in Argentina, down in Patagonia, with the folks from Sassicaia down there with their project. They're making Pinot Noir down there, which is actually pretty good. And, well, he was put in charge of this Roth and Lancaster property. This is before Bill Foley bought it. And, well, very exciting time because he got to roll out all these new wines. He got to make all these decisions on the style of these wines himself. And he's a bright young guy and also, you know, really interesting person just to converse with. And I mean, it helps you sell the wine when you have someone interesting out here talking about it and, as the winemaker. So Jesse, thanks very much for coming and doing this event with us. We're happy to have you back again. Some great wines. We sold a little bit of everything on the table, which means they're all good wines. We started out with a little Roth Sauvignon Blanc from the Alexander Valley. This is the Must Clone one. A little Viognier thrown into the blend, give it a little bit of weight and some floral notes. And this is all purchase fruit, the Roth label. And they may use a little bit of their estate fruit from Lancaster, which doesn't make it in Lancaster, but all long-term contracts with people Jesse has met throughout his career. A nice musky quality to the melon and fig-like fruit, some white citrus grapefruit, kind of grassy highlights in there as well. But this is a really bright and fresh style of Sauvignon Blanc, and $14.75. We're offering on sale for under $13. A lot of the crowd like this better than the Lancaster, but they're just two totally different styles. This wine very refreshing, very light, short but very pleasant finish on this wine. Leaves the tongue salivating for food. The 2011 Lancaster, this wine's batonage barrel aged. You get a lot more richness in this wine, a little heavier, had a lovely melon kind of fruit, white grapefruit citrus, fresh baled hay-like aroma, a little bit of that musky quality too, but much broader and richer on the palate with a good amount of ripe melon and Jolly Rancher grapefruit candy-like fruit on the tongue. Really nice length and concentration in this wine, a lovely creamy texture and great minerality to the finish in this wine as well. And a little bit more expensive, $26, $27. The Roth Estate Chardonnay was next. This is a cooler climate area, the Sonoma coast, but a rather broad area. And this wine had a lovely candied lemon citrus, some lightly toasted oak spice, a very clean and bright style of Chardonnay. A bit of oak here, but the tropical fruit really the focus in this wine. Lovely smooth and creamy texture on the tongue. Short but pleasant finish, just a note of oak spice and some minerality there. A very good little bottle of Chardonnay at $23. Next up, the Pinot Noir. I believe the 2009 was the first vintage. We have it on the shelf here. This was the 2007. This wine used to be made at Lancaster, but they've got a new facility. It was an old building that the Chalk Hill people owned, and they've turned it into a winery. Jesse got to outfit it from soup to nuts from the very beginning, which is kind of cool as a winemaker to be able to do that. This is also a long-term contract wine. A lot of dark raspberry, cherry fruit on the nose with notes of kind of smoky bacon fats to this wine. Really nice velvety texture here. Really good, sexy Pinot Noir. This 2011 Roth. But drinking really nice. It's not a wine you need to keep here. Pinots from California for the most part, ready to drink on release. Really nice balance in this wine, though, for $23. Excellent bottle of Pinot. And then we had the Merlot, which this Merlot was the surprise of the night for me. A hint of cedar and cigar box to the dark plum and cherry fruit. A nice hint of fresh earth here as well and herbs. Classic Merlot. I wouldn't say a Cabernet Sauvignon drinker's Merlot, but definitely a little heavier and more complex than most, but true to the varietal. Really lovely elegance and restraint in this wine. Plummy fruits, fine herbs, some earth and dark cocoa spice to the finish, and excellent Merlot for under $20. All right, the 2010 Roth Heritage. This is a new wine for Roth, and I don't want to say it's an answer to these prisoner-type wines, but you know, it's a blend of some of Jesse Katz's favorite vineyard sites and microclimates in Sonoma. Alexander Valley Merlot provides the power and structure, forms the foundation of this 2010 vintage Heritage. A high-elevation hillside vineyard sits well above the fog line, and Knights Valley provides the Petite Syrah, and the Sonoma Coast appellation with its cool, windswept maritime climate provides the Syrah for this blend, and a little bit of Cabernet thrown in there for good measure. All right, this is the first release, and you know, really big and fruity style wine, slightly sweet, but I wouldn't say it's got residual sugar in it like some wines in this style. Really nice balance of toasty oak spice, some floral notes, a really super silky and very easy drinking wine. Really smooth berry fruit here. Nice little value and a big hit with the crowd on this evening for $26.40. All right, the Roth Cabernet Sauvignon 2010. And this was a short vintage. A heat wave kind of went through and left a lot of the fruit sunburned in the vineyards. So some people lost 60 to 70% of their crop, man. This is a more classic style vintage. And this was a lot of people's favorite wine on the table tonight. The Cabernet from Roth, the Alexander Valley wine. Kind of black peppery spice notes, espresso, soy-like aromas to the dark currant berry and plum fruits. But really nice, drinkable Cabernet Sauvignon. That's what you get from the Alexander Valley. These wines from Sonoma, definitely more forward and approachable than their Napa counterparts. In this wine, a lot going on here for $23. A really good bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon from the 2010 vintage. All right, the 2009 Lancaster Cabernet was up next. This is all estate bottle wine, about 4,000 cases produced. Black currant and cassis berry fruit coming through on the nose with a good hand of toasty oak spice, dark cocoa, fresh earth. Really nice complexity here. You can just tell this is a big boy, big and chewy on the palate with lots of everything. Ripe, lush, dark cherry, currant berry fruit, round tannins. A really firm hand of acidity here holding everything together, and lovely focus to the fruit here. This wine has got some years to go. The 2009 built to last. It's $68, 69 bucks. Most excellent bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. One of the better Alexander Valley wines that I have had this year. All right, and we opened up the 2005. What the heck? We had it in the store. I figured what a better time to try it than with the winemaker. And Jesse was pretty impressed with this wine. Some evolution showing here. Some dark chocolate, some fresh plowed earth, espresso, sweet tobacco spice, some herbs and vanilla. And nice evolution here as well in the palate. Those tannins really rounded out very nicely. And good hand of mocha and fresh earth on the finish. Lovely balance. A most excellent wine as well, and that is the sign of a great wine. When you put several vintages on the table, you really get to see what the wine is all about. All right, that's what we had to drink with our friend Jesse Katz from Lancaster and Roth. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.